Whoa, hold up, guys. Pi Network might be gearing up for a 170% surge this month, with analysts even whispering about the possibility of hitting $100 someday. Yeah, I know, it sounds wild, but today we're breaking it all down. What's going on, crypto family? Welcome back to another episode of Gold Rush Crypto Daily. If you're new here, I bring you the latest crypto news, live reactions, and honest analysis. No fluff, no hype. Today, we've got two huge Pi Network articles to unpack. One says Pi could break out to $1 this month, while the other asks if Pi could ever reach the Holy Grail, $100 per coin. Big claims, right? Stick around because I'm going to compare both perspectives, give you my personal take, and share what I'm watching next. And hey, if you enjoy these deep dives, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. All right, let's start with this piece from CoinGape. The headline reads, Top 4 Reasons Pi Network Coin Price May Be Ripe for a 170% Surge. Bold headline. CoinGape usually covers mid-tier crypto news, sometimes bullish, sometimes clickbait. So let's see what they're actually saying here. Pi Network price has slumped, loitering near its all-time low. It has plunged for 3 straight months, making it one of the worst performers this year. Still, some bullish fundamentals may boost it by 170% this year. Okay, so Pi has been crushed. Down 3 months straight, worst performing token. Not the greatest track record, but they're still talking about a possible 170% recovery. That's ambitious. Anytime I hear that kind of reversal talk, I want to see why. Odds of a crypto market bull run rise thanks to Federal Reserve cuts and upcoming ETF approvals. Wait, hold up. They're tying Pi's recovery to Fed cuts and ETF approvals? Sure, those are bullish for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but Pi doesn't even have a major exchange listing yet. So I'm a little skeptical here. Pi doesn't just move with macro like BTC does. It's still very much dependent on exchange listings and community hype. Valour Capital became the first European fund manager to list a Pi fund in Sweden, making it available to institutional investors. Now this is interesting. Valour listing a Pi fund? That's big. We've seen similar things with Solana and Avalanche ETPs in Europe. They helped institutions take exposure without touching the coin directly. If Pi really has that, it could put pressure on Coinbase and Binance to finally list it. And historically, a big exchange listing has been the catalyst for massive pumps. On-ramp money added Pi to its platform, making it available in over 60 countries. Pi will also burn 160 million tokens this month. Whoa, 160 million tokens burned? Token burns are deflationary, less supply equals more scarcity. But let's be real, with billions of Pi already floating around, this is more symbolic than game-changing. Still, it shows the team is trying to create scarcity and drive price action. Technical analysis shows Pi is forming a wedge pattern and may be in the accumulation phase of the wick-off theory. A breakout could send it toward $1. All right, technicals. A wedge pattern means price is squeezing tighter. Usually you get a breakout one way or another. Wick-off accumulation? That's when smart money is quietly loading up before the rally. If that's true, $1 is a psychological barrier. From 0 to 34 to $1, that's about 170%. Makes sense mathematically, but only if that breakout confirms. So to sum up, CoinGape says Pi could surge 170% based on Fed policy, ETF approvals, a Valour fund listing, token burns, and bullish technicals. I like the institutional exposure angle. That's the strongest point. But I'm skeptical that Pi simply rallies because of macro moves. For Pi, it's all about exchange listings and real adoption. Still, $1 is not impossible. But before we jump on the hype, let's check the second article. Now let's move to this second piece from Coinpedia. The headline, Can Pi Network Price Hit $100? This one goes even bolder. It was published just days after the first article, so perfect for comparison. Pi peaked above 120s in May 2025, then crashed to 0.33 by late August. Today it's around 0.34s with low trading volume. Yep, that lines up with what we saw earlier. Pi absolutely tanked. Low volume is concerning though. It means fewer buyers, less liquidity, harder to sustain rallies. That's a red flag. At its peak, Pi hit $11.65 billion market cap, top 11 globally. Analysts argue its 65 million users make it a sleeping giant. 11.65 billion market cap, that's massive. And yeah, 65 million users, that's bigger than Cardano's entire community. The question is, how many of those users are active? And how many just downloaded the app and forgot about it? Community size is Pi's biggest strength, but also its biggest illusion if engagement is low. To hit $10, Pi needs a 2,800% pump. To hit $100, a 29,000% pump. CoinCodex predicts Pi stays under $10 by 2050. 29,000%? Come on. Unless Pi suddenly becomes the next Bitcoin replacement, that's not happening. CoinCodex saying under $10 by 2050 feels harsh, but probably more realistic than $100. Math doesn't lie, supply is just too large for those numbers without insane demand. PiCore team launched a Linux node release plus a protocol upgrade closer to Stellar's tech. Valour is also set to launch a Pi ETP for stock markets. Okay, I'll give credit here. The tech side is moving. Linux node support strengthens decentralization, and the Valour ETP confirms institutions are curious. That aligns perfectly with the first article, so on fundamentals there's some real quiet progress. So Coinpedia basically says, yes, Pi has strong fundamentals, massive community, and progress on tech, but on $100 is pure fantasy without mind-blowing adoption. Realistic targets, maybe $1 to $5 if everything goes perfectly over the next few years. $100, nah, not anytime soon. All right, let's line these two up. Article 1 is bullish short-term. Says Pi could break out to $1 this month thanks to token burns, wedge pattern, and institutional fund listings. Article 2 is more cautious. Yes, Pi has community and tech upgrades, but $100 is mathematically unrealistic in the near future. Long game only. My take? I lean somewhere in the middle. A short-term rally to $1 is possible if we get a big exchange listing. That's the key catalyst. But $100? That's a dream. Unless Pi figures out insane utility, burns way more supply, or onboards millions of active users, it's not happening. What should you watch? 3 things. Exchange listings. If Binance or Coinbase add Pi, price action could explode. Tokenomics. More aggressive burns could help scarcity. Utility adoption. Will people actually spend and use Pi outside of the app? Bottom line, Article 1 sees Pi as a near-term breakout play. Article 2 reminds us not to get carried away with moonshot dreams. Personally, I think $1 is realistic if catalysts line up, but $100 is a long, long road. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Pi will actually break $1 soon, or is this still just hype? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. I'll be tracking exchange listing rumors and on-chain data for Pi, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. You don't want to miss when that news drops. And remember, this is just my opinion based on these articles and my analysis. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Crypto is volatile, unpredictable, and full of surprises. All right, fam, that's it for today's Gold Rush Crypto Daily. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more daily breakdowns, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe, stay curious, and keep stacking that knowledge.